What's going on, you guys? From Marcel out here, back at again with the Different Mentality Podcast. Here, my co-host JP. Man, it's been a minute. How you doing, fella?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good. How about you?
Can't complain. Just a lot's going on though to discuss today. That's why I'm
heavy day, man, for sure.
Really heavy day. I guess we'll just start straight to it. Just have this conversation about what's going on.
You want to update everybody? You want me to kind of throw an update of what's going on?
Yeah. Go throw us an update real quick while you at it.
So today, supposed to be Game 5 of the Milwaukee Bucks and Magic series. I believe the Rockets Thunder was going to play, and also the Lakers and Portland Trailblazers. But since the shooting and the new videos have been released, all the games have been postponed. The Bucks started it off by not going out to play, and I mean, this was the goal, right? To raise awareness and get everybody talking about it. So here we are again.
100%. I feel like I tweeted about it. I said this has to be a big apology to Kyrie Irving too. It has to be publicly announced. This is what Kyrie Irving stood for before they even talked about the NBA bubble happening. He said that he was going to play because it's not worth it. Basically because by him standing up for that, and now people are now saying what he was saying back then, I feel like he deserves more credit for it because he was doing this before any of this ever happened. He boycotted his whole season, and he was healthy enough to play. He still boycotted just because of the situation.
I think everybody, Kyrie was definitely a front runner, and he didn't go to the bubble, and he's been standing for these injustices. But today's a huge day, man. They didn't play. They're not playing in playoff games. But not even basketball aside, this has got to change, bro. It's got to change. There's got to be some type of reform, some type of something, because what's going on out here is unacceptable, man, and it's scary.
Yeah. I look at it in different perspectives too, man. I look at it too, especially on your end, like bringing a child into the world right now,
man.
A minority at that, and it's like, how do we tell our kids, the ones that swear on oath to protect us, aren't? They're hiding behind a badge and committing crimes, where if Black people as ourselves were to do the same crimes, we're doing 25 to life off the cuff, like no second guess about it.
It's crazy.
Go ahead.
Like you said, man, having a son and he's young, he's only 9 months, but one day having to have these conversations with him, and it's like, I feel like the conversations we had growing up, or at least I had with my dad, it just kind of goes like, it's just kind of like par for the course. Like, hey, if you get pulled over, this is how you operate, respect, no sudden moves. And on my end too, I have friends and I know good police officers, but at the same time, there's gotta be a way to get some reform and for a way to get these bad apples out of there. Like, golly, man, they shot his kids was in the car, bro, like 7 times in the back.
And it's not even that, it's more so someone posted a picture like in the 1960s or slavery? Was it 1800s? I totally forgot what the picture. It was a picture. It was 2 pictures from then and picture of 2020, and it was like a picture of the Black person with their back being beaten with whips, like all the scars and stuff. And then now they replaced it with bullet holes. I seen that. I said that it's so strong because you gotta think. We were getting whooped, hung, all types, lynchings back then, and now we're getting shot on live television, really, because social media is pretty much live TV. Anything you post and record, anything you record, you can post right away. So it's like we're dying in front of people's eyes, and back then we were dying behind the scenes, and it's still no justice, and it's crazy to me.
And the thing is, too, it's like Bron said, if that guy or man or woman, whoever's behind that camera, doesn't take that video, do we even know about this?
That's what I'm saying.
He was saying, we don't know if the body cameras was on. We don't know.
Yep.
So there's got to be, in my opinion, there's just got to be police reform, man. I know that not all police officers are bad. I'm not saying disband the police, but at the same time, there's got to be some change, and there's got to be some trust built back. And going back to the NBA for a second, I think what happened today is super impactful, but now the tone has been set. Now they're not playing. So does this mean we're boycotting the rest of the playoffs? Does this mean we're not playing one game? It was really interesting, and I want to hear what your thoughts too. Not that it was easier for Milwaukee to stand up or make a change, and not at all. Props to them and respect for what they're doing, but they are up 3-1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even if they did take a loss, it is what it is now. But then seeing Houston 2-2 series and then LA, it'll be interesting to see what the NBA does, because it really puts the heat on the NBA.
100%.
And one thing I was thinking about too is most of these NBA owners, man, they're billionaires. So I know they got 2 or 3 partners, 30 teams in the NBA, 90 billionaires, 100 billionaires put their heads together. They can make some shake for sure. So
1,000%.
gotta be some response. And the NBA does a good job being aware and trying to do things to make a difference. But now we're gonna see what the actionable and achievable steps are.
I agree 100%, and I'll take it even a step further. By them not playing, and by LeBron James, the face of the league, coinciding with that and saying, I'm not playing either. Like we need change. It now puts nothing but pressure on not only the NBA owners, Adam Silver, all the endorsements like the ESPNs, the Disneys of the world, to make change. And there was a report saying the Milwaukee Bucks organization is reaching out to the district attorney to try to get that officer convicted, because we see a lot of officers get, oh man, they're trying them for 2nd degree, 3rd degree. No, we need convictions. We don't need arrests. We need convictions. We need them to be convicted how we're convicted on site. So what the NBA is doing right now is why, well, what the NBA is doing is the reason I think we have the best organization in the world. Me being us being basketball connoisseurs, I feel like the NBA is untouched, better than NFL, better than MLS, better than baseball.
No question.
Everything.
No question.
We're unified as one, and when one person takes a stand, it follows suit, and there's no backlash. No one's gotten fired from taking a knee, because no one's gonna fire LeBron James. No one's gonna get rid of his job.
Solidarity.
You know what I'm saying? And today, I think marks 4 years from the date when Colin Kaepernick first took that kneel. So
wow. Isn't it interesting looking back on that whole situation now? 4 years ago, Colin Kaepernick takes a knee, and to be honest, yes, it did bring some awareness of social injustice, but it was really just Colin Kaepernick taking a knee on ESPN and his fight against the owners, right?
100%.
Looking back on it now, it's like, man, I know I personally got to be better. I got, at times, definitely get caught up in taking care of my own, like you said, new son, and trying to make sure he's good and everything's good, but it's out of control. I gotta be more involved. It makes me want to figure out where I can be better, where I can help, how we can do something, even with our platform to push the message.
Yeah, and it's not even the fact of you have to do more or be better. It's the fact that you're being real with yourself. And in times like this, this is when we have the opportunity to inform others of our situations, to educate everyone of our trauma that we go through daily, because everybody's situations and stories are different.
Right.
So by just doing that, that's more than enough. Because there's a lot of people out there of our color who aren't saying a damn thing because they want that dollar. You know what I mean? There's a lot of celebrities out there right now that won't say shit about it because they know corporate America, white America is paying that money. So it's sick.
It's true. It's true though. Yeah. Because you gotta Kaepernick put his money where his mouth is, and even people now, the way that people respond to things, the way what people are tweeting, it's all gonna affect their brand. It's honestly gonna affect the future, and it's gonna draw the line in the sand, because you're not gonna be able to hide from it, especially these higher profile players and everybody who has a larger platform than us. You're not gonna be able to hide from it. And which is a good thing. There shouldn't be. I mean, what's the goal, right? Make equality normal. Like, 100%. Make equality normal. Everybody should have the same fair shake when a police officer comes up to the car. How do we get there? I don't know, but I think that's what we're going to see, and hopefully, with enough people behind it, there is change.
I feel like change happens 20 years from now. Right now, we're laying the groundwork for our kids to reap the benefits, and I'm fine with that, as long as there's change somewhere along the line. I necessarily looking at it from a selfless perspective. I don't need to be involved in the change right away. I want to be the process of it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be laying the stepping stone for it, so our kids can reap the benefits. Our kids can grow up in a better place than what our parents grew up in. So it's like, it's progressively moving, but it's still like the movement has been like that. You know what I mean? We still have so much far to go. What's up?
Do you think that in your lifetime, your perspective and your trust for law enforcement as a whole can be changed? Or do you think that, like you said, is it a next generation process?
Well, man, it's a tough one, because I don't, talk about the situation enough. especially having a dad being involved in, being a criminal in the state. You know what I'm saying? Being in prison and all that. So my relationship with cops has always been a tender subject. But my thing is even with my dad, not going into details of what happened, but black man gets pulled over, a DUI, and they don't have a warrant to search the car or anything like that. Search the car anyways because they have the power authority to. This is before body cams were, mandatory. I guess they found an illegal firearm or something like that, and automatically sentenced him. I think he got like 3 to 5 off the rip, but they didn't have the right to search the car or anything like that. So regardless of what he had in the car, I get it. He shouldn't have had it, but the fact that they have the power to do so, and it's just like with that, there's never going to be change with that because there's always going to be crooked cops out there. Now, how we filter it out, that's up to the cops that look like us to call them on their bullshit, to not stand behind the badge and hide behind it, but to honor it. You know what I'm saying, for the right reasons. Like when they see people doing bad or cops doing bad, they're like, nah, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like the dude with the George Floyd situation, he just stood there with his back turned like nothing was happening. Like, nah, slap that cop up off him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not a lot of people are built like us like that. A lot of people's mentality is kind of like, I'm gonna just follow the leader. And the leader in this case be the crooked ass cops, man. So I have no hard feelings towards cops, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if it will change, and I hope it does. But that's just me. That's just my trauma. That's what I've been through with that. So
yeah, no, I mean, that's a tough situation with pops, and I had a similar situation. I was getting ready to graduate high school. I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, and I was in a car with 2 of my friends. And long story short, I looked to my left, and the police officer got a 9mm in my face. And my partner's face in the front seat. Now going back to, like you said, was I doing something I probably shouldn't supposed to be doing? Yeah, but at the same time, your 3 17-year-old brothers in the car, we wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That situation could have gone left very fast. So it's 100%. Tough, and I had and even a couple weeks ago, man, I was at my parents' house and not even realizing how much of an effect everything has had on me. So a police officer pulls up in front of the house. I'm ready to go in the house. I'm closing up the car and I'm ready to go in the house. I don't want nothing to do with it. Long story short, it wasn't anything serious. He was just looking for a guy that had left. But that's how I feel. Police pull up. It's time to go in the house or get out of the way. So, and again, not all law enforcement is bad. And I know good cops, but these.
It's just they fit the description right now. Right now they fit the description. It sucks.
And it's tough because it's the code of silence, right? I would never snitch on you as my teammate, as my brother. And 100%. These guys got it going on. But there's got to be some sort of safe way or way to get these bad apples. Because I
know you would call me on my shit though.
100%.
That's the difference. That's not snitching. If I see you do some stupid shit, I'm like, JP, that's not cool. I cut that out.
100%.
I wouldn't let this. I would sit there and condone it. That's what I'm saying. The line has to be drawn. Not snitching. But
snitching is the wrong word, but it's that code of silence. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I want to correct myself. It wasn't a firearm, my bad. It was actually marijuana. That was what it was. They found marijuana in the car, gave him 3 years off of that. Not a firearm. If it's a firearm, that's a felony.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
that's
that.
Tough. That's tough.
Totally use it because I'm so used to seeing the guns nowadays, people getting shot. That's the first thing I thought of. But it was marijuana in the back seat or back or front seat. One of the I forgot what it was. I don't even have the details of it because I never asked him. But I know for a fact my mom, I overheard it was marijuana in the car. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, like it's just no longer condoning. Like I get a bro code and all that shit. But when it comes to murdering somebody,
no, bro, that's unacceptable. It's got to change.
Regardless. And you know what makes it worse, JP? I want you to elaborate on this too. I tweeted this out as well. I said basically, we have cops out here walking free after murdering someone and attempting murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
When does it become okay for humans that work for the state can murder somebody?
I'm like,
and not feel any wrath behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the thing is, so let's just address the most recent video that came out. First, here's how I look at it. Just me being point blank, straight, first time seeing the video, right? I don't know what happened before the video. I know that bruh's walking away though. And I understand, look, if he's gonna get arrested, I'm not sitting here saying he shouldn't have been arrested or whatever, detained, whatever, but I'm like, can we tackle him? Can we tase him? Can we yank him out the car?
It's more of y'all. It's more of them.
Right. So it's like when I see stuff like that, it's just like, where do we go? Where do we even go from here? Because all of this, I think everybody's been saying it great. The Black Lives Matter movement, all the sayings on the back of the jerseys, everything that's been being brought up, the protests. Clearly, there's still things going on. So where do we go from here? Is it no shutdown of sports? Is it more protests? Is it? I think personally, I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of off track from that initial question.
No, you're good. No,
it's like I think personally, in the NBA especially, these guys, they're millionaires. They have all these influence. We have to get non-African Americans on board as well. Like kind of you know what I'm saying? Kind of like the same Meek Mill approach, and how everybody was kind of looking at him funny when he started kicking it with Robert Kraft. But then at the end of the day, now looking at the situation a year and a half later, he was trying to make change, and he was trying to. You need that other side because clearly they're not listening to us. 100%. And I'm half black, half white myself, so I have white family and black family, but something's got to change, man.
100%. We can't do this alone. We need white privilege help. All of our white friends need to step up. And I'm using that word very loosely because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Not being racist. I'm not anything. It's just white America is the most powerful. And there's no change if they're not behind us. So I see a lot of my white friends, especially in the social media world, standing up, taking a stand for us. And it means a lot because it's like, okay, they hear us. You know what I'm saying? They hear us. They understand our pain. And regardless, there's those comments out there saying, well, it's not happening to you. What are you tripping for? But that's super.
There's gonna be that everywhere though. There's gonna be
noise. Saying? Like that's
gonna be,
It's super touchy because if you say it's not you, it doesn't matter, right? It's kind of like the COVID pandemic. It doesn't happen to you. Why does it matter? Okay, so then when it does, or it's happened to someone close to you, then what? It doesn't matter then. Okay, so then why doesn't it matter on the forefront from the gate? And we could have been stopped this back when the Trayvon Martin shit was happening. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And then the 17-year-old was walking around with an AK shooting cats at the protest. And bought Burger King and thanked, and then he fled the scene. Now they can't find him, and now they charge him with first-degree murder or some shit, whatever the case may be. But I'm like, he's not going to get convicted on first-degree murder. People understand that first degree means you have to have malicious intent from the gate. There's nothing to prove that. Second degree, third degree is what we need to be pushing for. A first degree on all of this shit, I get it. It's the most harsh, but it's gonna be the hardest to prove, man. We just need to get people convicted and get them in there and do the time for the crime.
I think for me, kind of going back to what you said, I think somewhere I can be better is I sometimes get drawn into just worrying about my circle, right? So, you know, COVID hits, 2020, new kid, whatever, everything going on. I can kind of revert back to, okay, let me make sure my little brother good. Let me make sure my son good. My whatever situation's good, right? And it's like all this stuff comes to light. We can talk, we can pod, but what are we going to do? That's the actionable and achievable steps. Like you said, convictions. We need something, man. We need something. It's feeling like a lost cause at this point. Even going back to what PG said the other night after the game, he just, at first when I heard it, I'm not gonna lie, my initial reaction was like, do you know what I'm talking about? Did you hear his interview after he had 35 the other night?
I didn't hear the full one. I heard the minute about him getting lost in the bubble. I heard that.
Yeah. So like, you know how CP has a big game. Clearly he's got, not scripted, but he knows he's talking about voting.
He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Ron has a big game. Yeah. Everybody's prepared and knows what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. PG was the first person I heard that had 30, 40, whatever, that didn't come out and talk about it. He basically just talked about like basically getting over the hump, right? And being mentally drained and mentally exhausted, feeling like he can't get to his people and touch his people. And like you said, having a son, I can't imagine being across the country or wherever, not being able to get to my people, and all this is going on. So I think we got to feel for I honestly, I have a different respect for everybody that's been in the bubble now. I know that my whatever small circle has no comparison to these NBA guys who have people waiting on them hand and foot and needing them to be active. So
100%. I agree. And then, like you said, the question becomes what's next, right? For the NBA. I feel like this. After today, if there's no change within this week, mind you, it doesn't take long to arrest and convict people. You can get a sped up trial. As long as we get them arrested and on trial, then I feel like we go back to playing. But until then,
that's my thing, Sale. But it's like
I don't know if it's gonna happen though. So I think playoffs are done. I think playoffs is over. I think NBA. I think it's over for this. I think season's over. We're gonna start back fresh in January, February. Year 18 for Bron. Everybody else is a year after. No NBA champion this year.
And because looking at it, because obviously I want to see him hoop. I mean, this is bigger than the situation, but
yeah,
they can't, bro. Because if they play, it don't mean nothing.
Yep.
If they play now, after not playing today, it'll get washed over, and in 2 weeks we'll be right back podding about Bron going for 30, bro.
100%.
Is the guys honest truth about it, and the world will go on. And this like they said in the beginning when they got there, got to keep our foot on the gas pedal, and me personally, got to be better, got to be more active, and just be better, man. Just makes me want to be better.
And it's I'll say this, man. It's touched on for me because I got a best friend directly on the Bucks. So this morning he texted our group chat saying like me, him, my boy UC and Tegan, basically saying like he loves us and stuff, like brothers for life. And
did he tell you?
It's just that checking in, like man, he's really out there doing it right now, like advocating for us, and that's someone I know firsthand. I can call anytime of the day. You know what I mean? So and I seen him behind Giannis to the left. On our screen,
right behind Bud,
wearing a George Floyd shirt, you know what I'm saying, advocating for change, and it's just little things like that, you know what I'm saying, just being in front of their face at all times, and to see that, man, makes me proud. To know that there are people, especially in the NBA, all of the NBA, I feel like is on the same page. Maybe a few aren't, that are hiding behind it, that are lying, but
But I mean, I think obviously there's going to be outliers, and there's going to be people who have their underlying opinions, but you can't worry about that, man. You can't. Not gonna please everybody. We got to push forward with the right. And whoever's not on the train and don't want to be on the train, that's cool, because you wasn't supposed to rock with us anyway.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
Yeah. and I'll say this. I'll go a step further. Just because someone has a criminal record, a background, a felony, a warrant, whatever the case may be, that does not justify murder.
No, absolutely.
Everybody's talking about, well, he was a criminal, this and that. We're glorifying criminals. Okay, I get that. I understand. But does that mean that all criminals should be killed? Especially the ones who are unrightfully killed, right? So it's like, and mind you, all of them are unrightfully killed. We got white people going to protest, no masks, no nothing, spitting on officers with guns, AKs and stuff on the steps. You got black people protesting. They bring riot gear, riot shields. They bring riot protection for officers off the rip. And we're more peaceful than the other people were when they were protesting about opening America. Let's let that sink in. They're talking about opening fucking America because of the corona pandemic. We're fighting for an actual pandemic of people's lives being murdered, and they're the ones claiming that we're rioters. Bullshit, shit, man. And to justify someone's murder by saying that they were a criminal is also bullshit, bro. That is a knock on all your integrity, bro. Do better, be better. That's bullshit, man. Excuse my language, but
I mean that's real. That's how it's emotional. It's something that has been brought to the light for me, is just how beaten down our psychology is, man. Like, even having friends and knowing people in law enforcement that are good, I'm paranoid, bro. I see a cop pull up behind me, bro.
100% agree.
That I don't know. I just don't know. You don't know if that cop had a bad day. And I mean, just being in the car, man, even now, if I get pulled over, it's hands up. Hey, can I reach for the glove compartment? Like, what do you need from me? And like, that's just me, because I can't do it. I got a little one. I got to come home. And it's scary that we're even talking about it. It's scary that I'm gonna one day have to tell my son. Hopefully there's change. And hopefully, man, it's just like, I feel like I'm fighting, feel like we're swinging at air. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at times I could be a victim of that, because you see it happen, and we just saw another one of our brothers get gunned down on TV, and it's not that I don't want to feel. It's just I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like okay, like that's regular. Like that's not something crazy or new. And until I see actual change or see some legislation or some breaking up of these police unions or police reform, something, bro, I gotta.
I feel like they have to intensify the police training. It can't be just a year, or like they have to make the training harder, and they have to be more strategic and tactical with what they're teaching in the training.
Do you think?
Because all you need is a high school diploma, if that.
It's like I think more so. I agree with you. There needs to be more intense training, but I'm like, there needs to be the same way it's a 3-strike rule for if you catch some felonies. There needs to be a strict 3-strike rule, or not even a 3-strike rule. There needs to be some type of like strict federal mandated. Hey, if you get 2 or 3 of these on your jacket, you're out of here. Period. Period.
There has to be some. And the thing about the gun is, right? Tase somebody, right? Tase them before anything. But second, I believe California gun law. Someone breaks into your home and they're charging or they're physically endearing and or what's the word? Physically opposing, appealing to you. You're supposed to shoot in the air, I think, once. You have to give a warning shot. These officers ain't warning shit. So if someone comes into my house with a gun, I have to give a warning shot while they could just shoot me. Come on, bro. That's that we got to change. We got to be better, bro. I'm like, bro, no one in their right mind is gonna automatically think to do a warning shot if someone's breaking into their home and puts their family in endangerment.
Man.
I mean, it's common sense, but it's not, because obviously it's the law. So
you got little cousins. You don't have a kid yet. You know what I'm saying? But you got little cousins.
I have a niece. I'm an uncle now, so it kind of.
Oh yeah. Man. What's her name?
Callie with a K.
Callie, I like that, baby Callie. We gotta send something over there. Send a swing or something. So I got baby gear for days at the house.
Oh man, hey bro, that's all they have over there.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. But
I mean,
but your niece though. Going back to her. What do you tell her, man? What do you tell her about the situation in a couple years coming around? It's like,
because you're gonna have to have the conversation. You're gonna have to.
And it's tough.
It's like, what do you tell your son? Like, what do you honestly tell your son once he hits 4 to 5 years old, when he starts asking questions? Dad, why is this? Why is that? You know, you have to have this conversation with him at a young age now.
I think it's tough. I think you don't want him to be fearful. Yeah. You don't want him to be fearful, but at the same time, you have to keep it real. So I think for me, the conversation is, one, don't be doing something stupid in the first place to get yourself caught up by some police.
1,000.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a different conversation, and it's not okay for people who are doing that to just get murdered. But don't put yourself in a situation where a police gonna have a reason. You know, be respectful and comply. Honestly, man, if you gotta go, I don't care. Call me. If you gotta go to jail, if you gotta get arrested, whatever, come home safe, man. So
please.
And I know there's more to that conversation, and hopefully I'll have a better answer for him when he is that age and he is driving. But right now, it's the same goes for me. Hands up, comply, make sure your shit is straight, and come home safe, no matter what.
100%. I couldn't say it better myself, man.
Man, heavy day, man. Heavy day.
Heavy day. Like I said, this is more so not about basketball per se. It's more about change, and it's more about moving in the right way, moving militantly in the right way as a unit.
Yeah.
And it's been a hell of a podcast, man. This is one of the realest podcasts we've done yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I was thinking about it too. Reach out to talk about it more offline. But if DJ want to hop on and share anything about what's going on or anything like that, more than welcome, man.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely reach out to him. But before we get out of here, I wanted to just open the floor to both of us to say, our last thing. So you can go ahead and go first. Like, is anything else you want to say?
I just think a lot was said, so I just kind of want to wrap up what I said. One, these injustices have to stop, and there has to be some type of change, a systematic change as far as police reform. Not all law enforcement is terrible. Not all cops are bad, but I think there are some bad apples, and there needs to be swift, actionable, and achievable steps to getting that cleared out. I want to reach out to me if there's something going on in the Bay Area that I can help with, or there's some way I can contribute. I need to be better, and I need to get more involved. And part 3 of that, I think, is just don't let up and be safe. For real. Like, I got to really say that to you on here. Be safe, man, when you're riding around, and be smart. And let's try to do some things to move the ball forward. Even if it's a little step, everybody can do something in their day-to-day to move the ball forward. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I think that sums it up.
I agree with that. And I'll leave the floor saying this. It comes to a point where, like I touched on earlier, you can no longer, as a police officer, hide behind a badge. Cameras are everywhere. Just because you go home doesn't mean you're necessarily off the spotlight. You know, once you're out of the badge, your face is everywhere now. So as a community, the same goes for us. Anything we do, negative light follows us everywhere we go. So we have to be more cautious, be more attentive.
Don't put yourself in a bad
spot. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in a bad spot. But it sucks that we even have to say that right now, because
true.
If we put ourselves in a bad spot,
not everybody can control that.
Exactly.
That's, you know, these environments out here, even in, bro.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
If we're caught in a bad spot, the repercussions of our actions could be death. Yeah. And that's the scariest thing to think about. And we're not untouchable, because we've had a case out here, Stephon Clark, in Sacramento, California, where I reside at. So it's close to home. It's not in different states. It's been in the city. And I'm like, every year there's something, at least every year, that regardless of the situation, blacks are being killed, whites are being killed. I get it. Yeah. But the white population outweighs the black population. So when it happens to us, it's more gruesome. It's on video. It's like, dang, they just didn't give a damn. They're just being like, fuck it. We see these cops they're not oblivious to it. They know exactly what's going on. And they continue to join in on those heinous acts. They continue to let those heinous acts happen within their police academies and cliques and all that stuff. First of all, the thing we do have to defund is the unions within the police academies and the police departments. The KKK needs to be defunded immediately. That's a terrorist organization. There's nothing you can tell me that's not terrorist about that bullshit organization. As bullshit, man. And second, we got to keep pushing for change, man. We can't let our foot off the gas. We can't let anything off the gas, really. You know, we have
one more thing I forgot too. We got to support each other. Oh
man, that's what I've been doing, man. Supporting the black community, bro. Everything I've really been buying has been black owned or myself. Or
I'm only supporting the homies, man.
You know what I'm saying, or I only support people that fuck with me, regardless of race. Like, if you fuck with me, bro, I fuck with you, bro. 1,000%.
Real talk.
But
we got to put up a united front, you know, not as just the NBA, just as citizens, man. Forget black, white, whatever. We got to put up a united front as humanity. Like, this got to stop. It's got to be changed.
Last thing I'm gonna say, I want Black Wall Street to be reinvented throughout the world. That's what I want. Because that was the most successful thing that happened to the black community that got taken away and shipped from us.
I think they're putting together a project on that right now, aren't they?
I like a little movie or documentary or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm tuning in for that for sure.
Man, heavy day, bro. It's like my heart is heavy, bro, today. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and I know that it's just thank you to the Bucks. I'll say that. Thank you to the Bucks.
Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to the Raptors for even talking about boycotting and the Celtics. And then shout out to the Bucks for making that initiative to be the first ones to do it.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely tap in and keep you updated and share more of our thoughts, man.
Well, man, it's myself, Howard, co-host JP. Appreciate you guys for tuning into Different Mentality Podcast. Hopefully next time, on a more lighter note, he'll have his microphone so he sounds crisp and clear like I do.
Hey, you see the background, my boy. You see the background.
I see the background, man. It's coming along.
Background, man.
But until next time, man, I'm looking forward to it, brother. Be safe out there, man. Love you.
Yeah, you too, brother. Love you too, man. Stay safe. And if you need anything, I'm here for you, man. Real talk.
Shit, I need $1 million.
Me too. I need a million subscribers. What's happening?
Oh, shit. I'll holler at you off camera about that one. All right, brother. Be safe, man.
All right, brother. Peace.
Yes, sir.